workshopping video. I just want to teach. Okay, here we go. We're live, you guys, in the food forest, in the kitchen garden, and we have all sorts of things. We have, tell us what's in here, girls. What's in here?
These are beans.
These are beautiful white Lima beans, okay? And aren't they fun, like little jewels in your hand?
Yeah.
Oh, they're wonderful, aren't they? And how do they grow? How do beans grow, you guys?
In a long tree.
They grow up the tree like a vine, right? Like a grapevine. That's how beans grow. And they'll grow up all these, but not right now because it's still too cold. So we're going to cover them with a blanket of straw, okay? Deep straw. So even if it gets super warm and wet and these beans start to sprout up and that snow comes back or the freeze, the straw will protect it like a blanket so it won't freeze to death, okay? So that's why we put straw. It's a little blanket for the winter. In the summer, it keeps the water from evaporating, just like leaves do in the forest. So we put straw down. We're going to make it really thick in here in the kitchen garden. Okay, now the other thing that's really important, you guys, it's called the microbes in the soil. It's the soil life. So dirt and sand, they have no life in there. And so therefore, they don't feed your plants when you plant them in there. And sometimes your plants won't even grow because you don't have the life. The life is Mr. Fungi, who has mushrooms. That's his flowers. Mr. Fungi's flowers are mushrooms. And Mr. Fungi has these mycelia, little skinny white fingers that can go really far all over this forest. And guess what they do? They bring the fertilizer to the other plants. But they also, did you know that trees talk to each other?
No.
They do. Through the fungi web. They talk to each other. So one tree on one side of the forest, and then I'll get you, Connor. Hold that thought. One tree on one side of the forest will literally say, hey, there's these bugs coming to infest us. And then the mycelia will go, hey, you guys tell everybody, tell all the trees in the forest, you guys, there's these bugs coming. So then they put out this weird kind of smelly, horrible tasting stuff. And guess what? When all the bugs, and even the tree on the other side of the forest, he finds out about it. So he puts out all his stuff too. And then the bugs come, and they're like, ew, you guys taste awful. We're not going to eat you. You're just awful. And that happens in nature, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? So Mr. Fungi has so many jobs. And also when the tree gets old, guess what Mr. Fungi does? He eats the tree. We call it decomposition, right? He eats the tree and he turns it into fertilizer. And that's why you see all the ferns and all the baby trees come up, because the older grandpa tree is feeding them as he goes to heaven. And all of his bark and everything gets eaten by Mr. Fungi. So Mr. Fungi is very important, isn't he? He does a lot of jobs in the forest. But then there's Mr. Bacteria, which you cannot see with your eyes. You have to look in a microscope down below. And there's Mr. Bacteria. There's all kinds of bacteria. There's families and families and families of bacteria. And they help your vegetable get fertilizer. Bacteria are very important. Mr. Fungi is important for the berry bushes and the fruit trees, all the woody stuff. That's Mr. Fungi's job. We got to take care of you guys, okay? But then Mr. Bacteria. But then there's another guy that is my favorite. The first time I found one under the microscope is Mr. Protozoa. You could see right through him in the microscope. Mr. Protozoa also is important. And what happens with all the guys that live in our healthy living soil that's rich, okay? What happens is they all eat each other, one after the other, and then they get fertilizer. And then there's Mr. Nematode. Do you know what Mr. Nematode looks like? There's a red wiggler worm, and we got lots of them. Do you guys want to come over and see what real soil looks like? Let's see if it's not too cold. Come with me. Come with me and let's go to our hugel bed over here. Because yesterday, when I went to Home Depot to get a whole bunch of good chicken manure, because I didn't have enough for my chickens, I showed the guy that was helping me. He brought them all over here in his truck and unloaded them for me. His name was Richie. And I said, have you ever seen living soil? This is what you're trying to grow, you guys. You're trying to grow living soil. So under our blanket of straw, we move it away. See how wet it is under there? Oh, and they're probably so happy there's nice sunshine. And there's some beans in here too. See how we planted some beans in here? Yeah, we move away our straw. And the closer we get down to our living, beautiful soil, look who came to say hello. tons of them are little red wiggler worms. Isn't that gorgeous?
It's so cute.
It's wonderful, isn't it? I know.
Do they keep warm in the straw?
So yes, they go down into the soil here that's alive with so many wonderful things. See, there's little arthropods. These little funny little bugs right there. There's little arthropods in there, and there's tons of Mr. Worms. Lots. If I dig down in here, and there's lots of good roots in there, I find all sorts of life in my soil. Do you want to hold a worm, Miss Araya? Okay, let me get you a little guy. Oh, here he is.
Are you a girl?
Okay. Look, you guys, how brave. She's going to hold a little red wiggler worm. Isn't he cute? He's wiggling around. He's so happy. He loves to be in your hand, sweetheart, because you're nice and warm. Oh, he's going to eat a bean. And then you know what the worm does? A little girl came over and told me, my grandma told me that worm poo is good for the plants. Good job, Araya. Good job, girl. That was really cool. You want to hold him, Connor? Hold our little buddy here. That's our little worm friend. And he fertilizes the plants. They all have jobs. And then the birds also eat the worms. Like the robins love to dig in my straw and get down to the good soil like this. And they want to get all those worms, right? Because that's what they eat. But we have so many worms in here we can share. Okay? But these guys put some Mr. Bacteria and Mr. Fungi. More life. Because he's probably resting. You're right. Here's another one. You see? When you have all, aren't they? And I like the name too, by the way. What do you think, Connor? Aren't they cool? It's a cool name, nematode. I just like that. But I want to create a cartoon for kids of Mr. Fungi, Mr. Bacteria, Mr. Protozoa, Mr. Nematode, Mr. Arthropod, all live in our soil. It's a whole little bean in there too. Okay, and then you make sure that you put their blanket back on because we don't want them to freeze, right? At night when it's so cold here. And there we go. Look at that. Isn't that amazing, you guys? There's a whole world down there. And we didn't even know it. Hi, Archer. What do you think, buddy? Hi, Archer. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. I saw that cute smile. It's his favorite thing. And then what else are we going to plant today, Gigi?
We can plant a flower.
Okay, let's plant corn, right? Do we have our beautiful corn, girls? Okay, come on, you guys. Let's go build some live soil. So we'll have lots of Mr. Fungi and lots of Mr. Bacteria and lots of Mr. Nematodes and Mrs. Nematodes too, right? Because there's girl nematodes, I'm sure. Do you think, you guys? Yeah. Now, what do these guys like to eat? Does anybody know here? Connor.
Soil.
Well, the soil is those guys, but what do they like to eat? Anybody? Anybody?
Seeds?
What?
Seeds?
What do they like to eat? Gigi is right on, 100%. They eat seeds. So, the beans are nitrogen. They need nitrogen, just like we need protein. So, a lot of the pea family and the beans, they're called legumes. That's what feeds them nitrogen, okay? Your plant can't eat that. But these guys eat it, and then they give the fertilizer of that nitrogen to the plants. Then your plants grow big and strong and beautiful fruit on them, right? Then the second thing they need, just like in a cookie recipe that Elaine Ingham, the Beck's microbiologist, always says, cakes and cookies. So what do you need to put into cakes and cookies? You got to have some protein, so you put it in an egg. Then what do you make and mix it with?
A bowl.
In a bowl. But you mix it with some grain, some flour, okay? So we're going to use a very special kind that Nicole and I said we'd rather have bread made out of rye. So here's our beautiful organic rye from Chance's farm that we got from him last year. Isn't that beautiful? And so they're going to eat beans and they're going to eat wheat or grain. It could be barley, it could be wheat, it could be oats, any of the grains, okay? So buckwheat's great in the summer, flax is great in the summer. For the winter, because it's cold, the winter rye does really well, you guys. And so we plant it right now in February. By May, we're going to have some barley out there, you guys. Should we try to make bread this year Wouldn't that be fun? Our own rye bread.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Wouldn't that be great if we had rye bread? It would be the best, you guys. Wouldn't that be fun, Gigi? We're going to bake our own bread. What do you think, Araya? And are we going to plant for fun some other seeds like corn too, sweetheart? Are you sure you don't want to wear a jacket? Oh, you look so cold to me. Okay, all right. So we've got that. Now, they don't look like those microbes we just saw over there, but they are in here. Lots of microbiota of bacteria and mycorrhizal. So let me show you what it looks like when we buy it. This will do a whole acre, okay? The bionutrients right here, read what it says. That will do a whole acre of microbes.
This right here contains
Yes.
endo and ectomycorrhizal.
Mycorrhizal. It's a big word.
Beneficial rhizosphere bacteria and yeast,
Bacteria.
complete micronutrient package plus a nutrient boost for fast colonization.
Isn't that fun? So we're going to grow a whole bunch of these guys you can see under the microscope. We're going to grow them in our soil, right? Isn't that fun? I know. It's amazing. So guess what these guys like to eat? Come here. In here, in a big bucket of, you want to use filtered water, not tap water, because it has chlorine in it, you guys. So you never want to have chlorine with your microbes. It'll kill them, okay? So guess what we put in to feed these bacteria, these microbes, you guys? We put molasses because they like sugar. Would you like to go put my purple jacket on, sweeties? You're not freezing. Are you sure? So we like to give them molasses, okay? So last night in the bucket of filtered water, we put molasses in the bottom, and they've been populating. And now we're going to put them into the soil, and then we're going to put the seeds of the cover crops, and then we're going to cover it with about 12 inches of straw this time. We want a lot. So a gallon of water, well, I did a 5-gallon bucket, so I probably put half a jar of molasses in there, just enough sugar to feed them. And so they were eating that all last night, you guys. And now we're going to put this into the soil. That's what's in there. Yep, that's the living things right here. Okay.
They're fast eaters.
They're fast eaters. And then we've got some other seeds of, this is in the pea family, the hairy vetch. And they're in their little pods, and they're just going to sleep in there until they're ready to sprout. Okay. So we're going to put those out there as well. We're going to put these cool gourds, Araya. Are we going to put these cool gourds out there too? Yes. And our corn as well. We're going to put our corn out there. And we have some really old seeds. Instead of growing little plants, we're going to plant them out there. Okay? All right. So, Garrett is going to work. Is that what he's got to run? He'll be back. It's okay. Okay. Ben, I'm going to have you carry one of these. Malachi, you're going to carry one of those and follow me. Connor, I would like you to help me to do some seeds. But first, I want you to go fill some barley there. Gigi, will you go fill 2 of these with beans for me, please?
Fill it all the way?
All the way, buddy. Raya, would you like to fill some beans? Go give me some good beans, girl. All right, let's get some beans, everybody. And we want to say hi to everybody that's watching right now. We got some people here. We got John. We've got Ted, Gulnaz, Lori, and James is watching. Do you know where James is, you guys? He builds hempcrete, and he builds big dome greenhouses. Isn't that cool? He's in Pennsylvania. Hi, James. I didn't know you were on there. How cool is that? We're doing our how to grow healthy soil in the spring and feed the microbes and put a blanket so they don't freeze and they'll germinate. And by May, we'll be eating beans and peas and barley and everything else. Isn't that cool? So there's our beautiful barley. Connor's holding right there. And the girls are getting us some beans. Okay.
What is that?
Those are little flowers coming through of irises. So we're going into our kitchen garden, okay? We've got our beautiful new wood chip pathway that we just got tons of great wood chips. All right, and you guys all saw those beautiful worms and all that life in the soil. So in here, we don't have as much because those are 6 years old. This is younger. And so we're going to keep adding microbes like this, okay? So we're just going to put it, it's going to go right through the straw. Then we're going to cover it after we put the seeds of cover crop and the other seeds. Then we're going to cover it with some good straw. And that way it can snow, which, you know, we're still getting snow here. You can see across the lake over there, beautiful snow across over there on our mountains. So let's start with this little bed here. This little bed that has a red mulberry, and he's got carrots, And he's got a beautiful dandelion that comes back, and he's got Egyptian walking onions. He's got all kinds of beautiful plants that come back every year here. And he's got sunchokes that you can see the stalks right there. So what we're going to do is, this is his round area right here. Not on the wood chips, but all here. I would like you to just sprinkle a whole bunch of that. And if you want to come in here, Ben, come over here. We can walk in the swale right here. And if you want to come over here, Ben, I'm going to have you just start on this side and meet Malachi over there. And see how the deer like to come through here and they uncover everything? That's why we're going to add more straw today. But see how hardy an onion is? These are Egyptian walking onions that are starting to pop out of the ground in winter. Isn't that amazing? Oh, put a whole bunch. Just put a whole bunch, you guys. We got a whole bunch inside. This is for all the kitchen garden today. And go on this side over there. See how those onions coming up? Isn't that beautiful? And then I'm going to have Gigi and Araya come, and Connor, and you guys are going to sprinkle. I'm going to teach you how to sprinkle cover crops, okay, sweetheart? Are you sure you don't want to put on the sweater? Another one, sweetie? I know you're freezing, aren't you? Yes. Your lips are turning purple, sweetheart. Your face is cold. Okay, let's go get a little hoodie, sweetie. I'll go get a little hoodie. Who would like to hold this for me? Anybody want to hold this and film? Thank you, Connor. Just hold it right there. Yes, the whole circle. Get it all inside here, everywhere. We want to populate. Lots of microbes in there. Grow. Here, sweetheart.
You want to put both gallons in this one area?
It's going to keep your little face warm.
You want both gallons in this one little area?
No. Then go over to the other one on the other side, and let's get all that bed, okay? Here, sweetheart. Will that be better? Isn't that better?
I smell the molasses.
You can smell the molasses, can't you?
Yeah, it's
Yes, it's
smells
wonderful. Okay, is that
just
better,
kind of
sweetie?
like gingerbread.
Okay, let's do this too, okay? Because I don't want your little hands to freeze. How about you, my dear? Are you ready for a little jacket?
Yes, that's because my hands are cold.
I know, that's why I want to put a jacket on you, sweetheart. Hold on. It's too cold out here. All right, do you want purple or black?
Purple.
Purple. That way it'll be nice and long and cover your hands, right? All right, sweetheart, I'll hold your beans for you. Let me hold your beans. There we go. Okay, purple for you, my dear. Purple is my favorite color, too. How's that? Will that keep you toasty warm, my dear?
Want me to follow them? Like, just...
Nope, hold on. I'm going to teach you guys what to do over here while they go and inoculate. Let me know when you guys run out. I have another bucket full inside, okay?
So, do you want us to use both gallons in this whole section of the food forest?
Oh, I want you to put so much you're going to have to go refill.
Okay.
All right. Who's ready with their beans?
I am.
Who's ready with all their good stuff we're going to put into the forest? Because what do the microbes, Mr. Fungi, Mr. Bacteria, Mr. Protozoa, and Mr. Nematode eat? Do you guys remember?
Seeds.
They eat seeds. Gigi knows that. What else, Connor?
Bacteria?
So they are bacteria, and they like to eat what kind of seeds? The cakes and cookies. So the protein, beans, right? They eat those little beans right there. And the carbohydrates, just like cakes and cookies, need the eggs and they need the flour. They need the barley, the grain, okay? So this is how you broadcast cover crops, okay, guys? This is how you broadcast everything, okay?
So I just take a handful?
So you just take it like this, and let me show you yours, because this one is a little smaller, so I might just put only that much there. And see that? And you only put it in the bed, okay, you guys?
Okay.
Just put it in the bed. And then we're going to add some other fun seeds as well. Yes, and you can walk around in these trenches right here. You can walk in the trenches, you can walk on the wood chip pathways. That way you don't squish the little life in the soil, right? Okay, inside there, bring out the bucket and we'll fill it up right here. Thank you, Ben. Okay, everybody, are we planting our beans? We'll plant our beans everywhere. And they're literally, come here, Araya. And the beans are gonna, yes, sweetie. Yes, Araya. What's that, sweetheart? Do you want to plant that? Okay, are you sure you're not freezing to death? Okay, sprinkle it everywhere, okay, girls? Sprinkle it everywhere. And guess where they're going to grow? They're going to grow up the mulberry tree. The beans will grow up the mulberry tree. Isn't that fun, you guys? Nope, just on the beds. Go ahead, Connor. Just sprinkle it everywhere on the beds. So we need a lot more than that, so watch. See what I do? Okay, good, sweetheart. What's that?
Do you have a funnel
No, what I do is I stick it inside the bucket and fill it up. I just put the bottle inside and lean it to one side, and then it just sucks it up. Watch. Stick it in there. We might need to add a little more water. Yep, upside down. There you go. No, the other way. Sorry. Okay, try to get it in there and just have it suck it up. There you go. That's what I did with the first two, but we might have to add a little more water to get some more in there. I've got filter water inside. Never use tap water because that's got chlorine. All right, you guys, how are we doing out there? Are we planting fun? I'm going to go get some beans too, but I'm also going to put, this is called hairy vetch. It's older. We grew a big field. This is in the pea family, the hairy vetch. And the hairy vetch has beautiful purple flowers. And guess who loved the purple flowers, you guys? The bumblebees. Yes, so under the oven, inside the kitchen, if you'll take your little shoes off, if you'll go inside the kitchen, there's a whole bunch of filtered water bottles, those big green ones. Go ahead. Well, I plant all the hairy vetch I can out there because we love hairy vetch. So these are they're not hugel beds. These are actually just garden beds for summer kitchen garden. But we also like to have shade, so we have our weeping crabapple right here. It still has crabapples on it. We have our wonderful Nanking cherry that will be eating delicious cherries in June. We have our beautiful white weeping willow there. That is medicine for pain as well as its wonderful growth hormone. So we put branches that the wind breaks off, and we put them in a bucket of water, and you guys won't believe this. Look at this. All winter, it stayed alive, and it's got roots. Look at all those roots of the white willow. Yes, we keep getting more, okay? We got to have a lot of that. And then I'm going to put the hairy vetch.
I'll just go over the spot.
You bet. So this is our cakes and cookies. We're feeding those microbes we're putting in there, right? And the microbes go way down under the straw into the soil, and they're going to eat, when these guys sprout, they're going to eat these beautiful nitrogen and carbohydrates, okay? And then, girls, let's get some beans around all these little trees so they can grow up. The beanstalk will grow up the trees, right, guys? You going to go get some more, Araya? Okay, sweetheart, go get some more beans. We want to plant everybody to have really good.
I've gotten all this on
Broadcast. Go get some more. We want to put lots in here, okay, Connor? Let's do 2 more. Let's finish the whole thing, okay, Malachi? You refill yours too. That one's a little slower. We have to make better holes, right? Yeah. Wait till you guys taste the Nanking cherries. In 2 months, we'll be eating Nanking cherries, hopefully. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah, and see all these little black beans? These are the hairy vetch little seeds. Aren't they cute?
Yeah.
And they're in the pea family, and they grow really well in the winter. So that's why I like planting them for winter. And remember last year we planted all the peas too early, and then they grew to 6 inches, and then it froze. Poor little peas. They didn't like to be planted too early in October, because our winter didn't come until end of November, huh, Gigi? Yeah. Okay, let's go grab some other seeds. Just keep spreading them. I want you to go back over tons. When you broadcast your cover crops, you guys, you want to put a lot in there. Okay? And then Gigi and Araya are going to help me plant the other seeds as well. And then we'll plant the corn and the gourds. And what else do we have in here? Oh, we've got... I just threw them out there the first year onto wood chips, and it was amazing how all these beautiful pumpkins and gourds were growing up, the trees everywhere. It was so beautiful. See, nature just does it itself. It knows what it's supposed to do, right? And so that's what we do. We just plant things little by little. Nature knows how to decompose, open the shells, and germinate, but under the right conditions, right? Right temperature, right soil moisture. Everything has to be right. And then the seeds all come with their own little blueprints, the DNA, and it tells them under what conditions do you come up. Isn't that amazing how smart God created these beautiful seeds? So are we getting more beans, you guys? I'm going to go get some more beans, okay? Okay, girls. You're doing such a great job out there. Look at you. Are you staying warm enough? I'm worried about you, Miss Araya. She just doesn't want to wear that purple sweater. She's so funny.
Take it off right
I know. If anybody else wants to do some beans, they can throw some beans out there. So in our beds. Yes, my dear. Would you like to just take mine? Here you go, sweetheart. Oh, let me get up to you. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Good job, Gigi. What's that? I want you to keep doing the grain, okay, sweetheart? Thank you. I want you to do the grain, so that way we make sure we really get lots. So leave that in there. What that does, it keeps the bugs from hatching their eggs. Okay. What's that? So what it is an old Chinese secret of how to keep your food storage from having bugs like weevils in the wheat and stuff like that. You put white pepper, whole corn white pepper that you get at the Chinese market, and it smells so strong that when those little eggs hatch that come with all the wheat, when they hatch, they can't breathe. They're like, okay, we're not going to live in here and eat all the wheat. It's just too, they sneeze, you know?
Yeah.
They start sneezing, I bet. But it's just too strong for them. And so they can't live in there with all that pepper. How are we doing, girls? Araya? You're doing good, sweetheart. Getting all those beans out there, huh, sweetie? We're going to have lots of beautiful beans, like Jack and the Beanstalk. Yes, all the beans do. Lima beans, black beans, pinto beans. All the beans grow up like vines. They're beautiful. And then you guys, we're going to cover these guys up with a good blanket of straw. We're just going to put beans everywhere. And then all the other root crops that we have every year, we've got taro root. Do you know what this is right here? Look, you guys. This is a saffron that we planted bulbs in the fall. Isn't that beautiful? It's been so warm that he's staying alive, so I'm going to cover him up with a little blanket of straw because I don't want him to freeze to death. That's a saffron in there. And we have ginger, and we have turmeric that comes back, and all our herbs come back, oregano.
Are we going to use that whole bag?
No, just keep going a little bit, Connor. We'll get it really good. How are you doing with the beans, sweetheart? Good. Are they going to grow up our willow tree right there? Yes, all the beans are going to grow up the willow tree. That's going to be pretty, isn't it, sweetheart? Yay! And then under here, you guys want to see a live plant? This is a sorrel. Let's see if I can find him. There he is. There's our little sorrel. He's starting to grow new little leaves right there because it was warm for a while. But if we don't cover him up with the straw, he would freeze. So he comes back every year because he's called perennial. That means he comes back. And he's so delicious, he tastes like lemon.
I'm going to give him some
Give him some beans to feed the microbes. So the microbes, Mr. Fungi, Mr. Bacteria, Mr. Protozoa, and Mr. Nematode, they're going to feed that Mr. Sorrel, huh? Aren't they? Yes, so we're giving him nitrogen with the beans, and Connor's giving them carbohydrates with the rye grain. Rain. It's like raining grain, isn't it, you guys? Let's do the whole thing. Can you get a little bit more? Let's see how it looks. Did you guys cover all the way to the end over there?
Yeah.
You did pretty good. Yeah, let's just finish it off.
Okay.
Let's just finish off our microbes.
Okay.
Both of you guys. Yep, come over here. Whenever you're doing something like that, don't do it over there because you're wasting all the microbes. Come over here and let's do it right here so anything falls out, it goes into our soil. Let's get more beans, you guys. We're going to put all those white beans in here this year, okay?
Want me to do another cupful?
Yes, hun, please do. Lots of rye and lots of beans. Come get your beans, girls. All right, we're going to have a lot of beans, Araya. You okay, sweetheart?
A lot of grain.
And a lot of grain. Wonderful winter rye in our food forest. And look at our Mr. Fig right there. He's just sleeping. He'll come to life. We'll have beautiful figs again this year. Isn't it fun, you guys, to see what you can grow? I think I'm going to give some beans to Mr. Patawama Plum right there. He has plums that taste like apricot jam. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? You gonna go get some more beans, sweetie? Okay, you go get more beans, and we'll keep spreading them out here. We did put some red beans out here too, so they're in there. And then we'll cover all this with a beautiful blanket of straw. because we never want them to freeze when they start to germinate. Now, hopefully the deer won't smell that beautiful rye and start eating it. We feed...
They'll be full before they even get half on people.
Well, what we hope is they'll wait until it grows and then they naturally come and graze it. But they know, because Heavenly Father taught them, do not eat them all the way to the ground, but only eat a little bit of the grass and then come back later when it grows back. And so the deer know what to do perfectly. All the grazing animals like deer and elk and buffalo, they only graze the tops of the plants. That's a perfect way to broadcast, Connor. Look at that. Woo, he's a pro. Look at this, Ben. He's a pro at it. Look at that. Sepp Holzer would be so proud of you. He puts together 50 different seeds, remember? All varieties of 50 kinds of seeds, and they broadcast it all over that mountain, don't they, in Austria? Yeah, that's how they plant. All their seeds. But we're just going to do cover crop today, I think.
You want me to do another scoop?
Let's do one more, but you're doing a perfect job. Make sure you do it just like that everywhere. And I think we got it covered, you guys. Then we're going to be ready to put our straw down. Okay, everybody? It can grow up our little crabapple tree right here. And our little thornless blackberry right there. Isn't that fun, you guys? This is how you plant. This is how you grow soil. It's amazing, isn't it? It's that simple. We could give some beads to our little grapevines right there. Great job, Connor. Oh, are you carrying? Oh, you're so sweet, honey. But don't get your hands cold. You know what we're going to do? Let's dry that off, sweetie. Here, use my shirt. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put fresh straw on them, okay, sweetheart? Will you cover this up so you don't get cold, sweetie? I want you to warm up your hands now, okay, sweetheart? Warm up your little hands, okay? Hold them together.
Can I go inside?
Yes, go inside with Mommy. Araya, would you like to go inside with Mommy, sweetheart, and get warm for a little bit? Go ahead. You guys, do you want to take them inside for a second, Nicole? You sure? Gigi just asked if you guys could go inside. Because her hands are cold, honey. She really wants to warm up her little hands. She did such a good job, Gigi.
Yeah, I'm going to get you your little gloves.
Let's put your little gloves on, sweetie.
Okay?
Dirty.
Oh, that's okay.
It's okay.
Just rub them together, honey.
We're just putting garden gloves on, sweetie. Okay.
Wipe these.
Okay, I got
You want to
it,
wipe
honey.
them, sweetie? Okay, she's got it, sweetheart. That way you guys can get warm. And you can borrow this little hat, okay, Gigi? Do you like that, sweetheart? Okay, are we ready to do some straw coverage, you guys? Oh, and we were going to plant the corn. Let's do the corn and the gourds. You want to carry some, Gigi? We're going to plant our little gourds. Okay, go ahead and put it back into the rye. No, it's okay. We'll just let the kids do it. That way the kids will see how they planted, right? So what I do is I just broadcast my gourds out there, my corn. Just pull the corn off because you got all those little kernels. So if you grab some of the corn, sweetie, and then just put those out there.
You just want me to, like, toss it off or something?
Toss it on a different bed. Let's put one on each bed. Yes, you can, absolutely. And then will you take one out under the farthest tree out there, okay? Plant it under the tree. Yes. And then we're going to plant all this corn as well, you guys. Okay. So just sprinkle. Hey, you guys, do you have your 2 little corn that I can plant? All right, Gigi. Now you've got your garden gloves on. Okay, Gigi, let's plant some corn, sweetheart. Let's do the pretty, pretty colors of corn. We got to show everybody. Look at that, everybody. Isn't that the most beautiful color for corn you've ever seen? It's pink. Look at this one. It looks like little candy cane. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, you plant that one, and Connor, you plant that one.
What do I do?
So what you do is you pop the little kernels off and plant them into your garden. You want to do that?
Sure.
Thank you so much. Oh, just throw it out there.
Cool.
Throw everything that's biodegradable into the garden.
Coming, Dad.
Feed the garden. How do we get them off, sweetie? Okay, so what you do is you grab this. Okay, so you guys are looking at this. Aren't they beautiful? They're the prettiest little corn kernels I've ever seen in my life. They look like little colorful gems or jewels. So they're not that easy. They're thick ones, aren't they? So maybe what we'll do is we'll just put the whole thing somewhere and we'll see how much corn comes back. Where should we put it? If you can, some of them are a little tough, huh, Connor? Okay, let's do it right here, sweetie. Let's plant it right in the middle, okay? And what I can do, if you'll hold this for me, can you hold that? Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, you hold on to it. It's filming. Okay, see you guys, what I did is I broke it in half so you guys can just break off part of the corn. There we go. We'll put some there and some over there. And we hope it'll grow. You know what else I have that's beautiful? This is called Amaranth. And it's red amaranth. So I hope we get lots of red amaranth in here, you guys. Hopefully, because I love amaranth. That's one of the ancient grains that's a complete protein. Isn't that beautiful? This is called amaranth.
It looks like dust.
It does, but they're little baby seeds. They're just little baby seeds that we're planting of amaranth out there. And that's why, if you guys will start grabbing the buckets, okay? Let's get the buckets of straw out here and only put the straw on the bed, right?
Can I pick up some and put them in?
Yes, my dear. Here you go, sweetheart. Come over here. Let me get you a little amaranth. Just make sure you go right in the middle out there, okay, sweetheart? You got your great little garden gloves on. Okay.
Do I put it right here?
Yeah, but sprinkle it. Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Yes. Okay, let me show you how thick. So right here where Gigi is, okay, let's come over here. Okay, so what I want is really thick, so never get it over here. So bring the bucket right over the straw. And what I want you to do is make it so thick you can't see any of those beans. Okay, this is their blanket for this winter. We're going to cover them in a really thick blanket of straw. Okay, and you can walk inside the trench right there. Hi, Archer. How are you, buddy?
Can I do the other bucket?
Yes, sweetheart. Go grab yourself a bucket of straw. There's a little bucket, Gigi. Go grab those. Make it really thick. Thicker, okay, Connor? Yeah. Even thicker, thicker, because it's going to get cold still this winter, right, you guys? Yes. You hope so, huh? You want some more snow out there in Tooele?
He doesn't like snow.
I don't like snow. I like rain, but I don't like snow. Okay, go ahead and take these back, and we'll send them with Malachi, and you guys keep bringing the straw. Okay, Gigi, we got to put it right over the top. Perfect. Because we want to have a nice blanket so that the beans don't freeze.
Sliding it out so they can keep warm.
Okay, sweetheart. So step up to the bed over here, sweetie. Step up over here. And see all these little beans under here? We want to give them a really thick blanket of straw so they don't freeze, right, Gigi?
Yeah.
We're going to keep them nice and warm in there. And then pray that the deer don't start coming and eating them too. Because the deer like the grain, you guys. So I have a basket over there of wheat that we feed the deer. And they come here every night. Did you see them the other night, Gigi?
Yeah.
You did, didn't you, sweetheart? Then give this to Malachi. Some are frozen in there. Did they get dropped in the snow?
Yeah.
Yes. That's okay, sweetheart. Okay, we've got a bunch in there, you guys. That's wonderful. Now we got to cover everybody with tons of straw. Tons and tons of straw, you guys. Yes. Just make sure you don't get it on the wood chip pathway, okay, Connor? Just only on the bed right here. So bring it up to the edge of the bed and then sprinkle your straw and cover everything. We're putting a whole bunch of the amaranth right here that'll grow underneath. Absolutely. That's what the wood chip pathway's for, hun. You bet. Okay, Gigi's ready to go with that blanket. I'm going to go grab one too, okay, Gigi? Let's go grab some more straw. And we'll cover everybody with a blanket of straw. Oh, we got some beans in the middle here that didn't get any straw. We better make sure everybody gets covered. See all these little beans? They've got to have a blanket so they don't freeze. Everybody needs a little blanket. And that's how you do it, you guys. See, they're just like us. They need water, they need nutrients, and they need good microbiota, because that's what's in our gut, right? That's our microbiome, it's called. And we have bacteria, and we have good fungi, okay? And that's why we need to eat our vegetables, because that's what they like to eat. Our fungi and our bacteria in our gut, love to eat vegetables because they need fiber to get big and strong and take good care of us. So that's why we have in our stomachs Mr. Fungi, Mr. Bacteria, but the plants only have it. Good job. Good job, Gigi. They only have theirs in the soil because they don't have a stomach. So they have to have their good fiber given to them from the plants of the cover crops we're planting. Okay? Isn't that wonderful? We got everybody helping out. Cover those really good, you guys, okay? Good blanket, huh, Gigi? You're doing such a killer job, sweetheart. Good job. That's wonderful, you guys. I'm getting straw all over my phone here. And since we got some beans down here, we'll just cover it with some straw. Right, Gigi? Okay. Okay, sweetheart. You go cover them up good. All right, sweetie. And we'll give extra straw. She's covering the blanket. Oh, not over there, sweetie. Oh, you saw some beans over there? Oh, yes, that's true. I did throw some beans down there. So we'll try not to put it on the walkway. We'll just go right up. Watch out, because this little tree, Mr. Potawatomi Plum, good job, Gigi. You covered his little beans around him, huh? He has little thorns on him, but he sure has the best fruit in the whole world, doesn't he? Okay, let's go over there. Let's cover all the beans everywhere.
The wheat is pokey.
It's pokey, huh? Did you know that the straw is from wheat? So they grow the wheat and they gather all the seeds of the wheat, and then this is what they make the straw out of, is the plant of the wheat. So really good. Really good. So what you want to do is you want to sprinkle it, okay? Yeah, you always want to sprinkle your straw so that it doesn't clump. All right? So always sprinkle it, Connor. No, just the beds. Only where we put the cover crops. Yes. We're just covering cover crops with a blanket of straw. Right through here. And we're going to go through lots of straw, you guys. Just like that, Gigi. Yep, just make sure you guys don't put big clumps, but you spread it out, okay, Connor? So go back wherever you left some clumps and sprinkle them all around. You got straw in your shoe, huh? All right, Malachi, thank you for keeping it coming. That's wonderful. Yeah, we want to make sure that we sprinkle it all even, Connor. All right. And just sprinkle it really thick, okay, Nicole? You don't want to see any beans left, okay? We're going to make sure to sprinkle it really thick, you guys. That's what we do. Nice and thick blanket of straw. Now it can snow the rest of winter and freeze, and they'll be just fine because they're dormant right now. It's too cold for them to sprout. But when they do sprout, when it starts to warm up again, they'll have a blanket of straw to keep them warm at night.
Hey, this is what speed hide. That's what we're doing. We're speed hiding.
All right. Will you go back through where you've got these big clumps, Connor?
All right.
All right. Thank you, sweetie. Let's make sure we cover everything. Everywhere we're putting our straw. Beautiful blanket of straw on our beds. And we're even covering those little gourds, you guys. So when they sprout, they don't freeze, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Gigi. Good job, sweetheart. Good job. Isn't that fun? We're growing healthy soil, you guys. Yay! We're growing beautiful, healthy, living soil. It's wonderful, you guys. We've got our beans everywhere, so we want to cover them up. Cover up anywhere you guys see those little beans, okay? Make sure they're not uncovered. Boy, somebody got lots of beans over there. We'll spread them out. And our corn gets covered. And our amaranth gets covered. And all our grain already fell through. Little beans, cover them up perfect, sweetheart. Good job. Good job, Miss Gigi. Look at that. We just cover everybody up And then it can snow on Saturday, right guys? Yes, because they'll all be covered warm with straw. That's right, sweetie pie. Everybody's getting a blanket. Get more straw. We got some leftover corn here. We'll just throw that back out there. You just throw all your crops back in. Now your cover crops, we do what's called... Uh-oh. Who we got? We got Nicole. Is that Araya?
Probably.
She's in the car, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. So
About that, guys.
what we do is we do what's called crimping. As soon as you've harvested all the seeds, you guys, on your grain and your other cover crop plants, you just step on them and leave them there. You're going to plant into it, okay? It's called crimping.
It kind of sounds like crikey.
You never take anything away that's alive. It's like a living ecosystem that just goes through all these different cycles, and you keep everything there. They all take care of each other, right, Gigi? You staying enough warm, sweetie, with that nice hat? I'm so glad I had that. Now you've got your good gloves on, sweetheart. That's great. Good job, Connor. That's exactly what you do, but make it really thick, okay, hon? I'm going to come behind you guys in case I see any exposed little beans. I'll cover their little heads up, okay? There we go. And we're just going to do our kitchen garden this year, and that's all. The rest of the food forest we're not going to do because that takes a lot of watering for me if I want to do the rest of the food forest.
And a lot of time.
And a lot of time. But we'll watch them inside the garden here, you see? We'll watch them grow in here, all our little cover crops. This spring. What you got? Uh-oh, we don't want that. All right, you guys, this is going to be beautiful. And here's a little barley. This is what they look like when they're growing, you guys. You see how pretty they are? The little seeds of barley. We just throw that back in. It's wonderful. So we want to make sure, don't see any little beans anywhere. Cover them up with a nice blanket of straw.
I'm just going to go over like these little cracks just in case.
Okay, just make sure that you don't get them on the wood chip pathways. Just keep it in the middle, okay, guys? Thank you, Gigi. You're doing such a great job. You're a good hard worker, Gigi. Good job, sweetie. Isn't it fun? Do you know I had a little 4-year-old that came with his siblings and his parents, and we were planting all the seeds, and then we were putting a little blanket of straw on them. Do you know what the 4-year-old heard me say? And he tells me as they were about to leave, "Can we come back and see when our seeds germinate?" 4 years old? I'm like, "Do you even know what germinate means?" He's like, "Yeah, you said they sprout." And I was like, wow, are you smart? Amazing, isn't it? Yeah, Gigi. Keep going, girl. You're doing so good. We'll keep covering everybody up in our little kitchen garden here.
Can't wait to see them.
You can't wait to see them germinate, can you? Won't that be fun, Gigi? When we have all these little guys? Whoop, we got to wait for Malachi. He's going to get us more straw. How are you doing, sweetheart? I'm glad you got your little gloves on. You got your own little garden gloves. It's so wonderful. All right, it's a little light over here, so I'm going to go back over here because I can see a few beans right there. We'll cover those puppies up and spread it out. Yeah, because if you make it too thick, then they'll mold, and then you don't grow anything. So what I teach people to do, my friend, I don't know if you saw me, I sprinkle. I never throw it over like that. Because see what happens is, you don't realize, but you made this huge clump.
I thought the idea was trying to get like 12 inches thick.
Sprinkled, not clumped. So the way to do it is you take it and you sprinkle it over the top like this. You don't want any little clumps. You want to sprinkle, okay? Otherwise you'll get mold.
I found seeds.
You found some seeds of wheat? Is there wheat in there?
Nope.
Will you go see how Malachi's doing and see if you want to bring back some buckets, you guys? See if you guys can go find Malachi. He's back by the shed. Okay?
You want me to go help him?
That'd be wonderful, Connor. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much, hon.
Do you have to have gloves to do that, though?
Kind of. It helps. So every time we'll have to get you guys to get you some gloves.
I have gloves, I just couldn't find them.
Okay. But that's wonderful to have good garden gloves to work out here with straw. So we're getting all our straw out here. And we'd like to put some as well around our trees and our vines, like this grapevine right here. It's a red catawba. He loves to grow up into the tree. Now we just did our cuttings workshop where we take cuttings of grapes and berries and other woody plants, and we like to propagate them in sand. And so we'll have new plants. And so we cut the new growth. That's what we teach. And so we're going to finish with the rest of the grapevines right here. We'll cut them back as Grant Holdaway, my favorite farmer in the world that just passed away. He was almost 90 years old. He taught us how to count 4 nodes. The nodes are where the branches come out right here. And so you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you trim right there. And then it'll grow all new vine this summer with lots of grapes. If you want to have grapes, you want to trim them back. We're getting lots of straw, you guys. Wonderful. Gigi's got it. Throw it on there. Good job, Gigi. All right, you guys. I'll take these back to Malachi. I wish that sun would come back out like it was all morning. It was so nice. All right. Let's take it back to Malachi. Thanks, Connor. Way to go, bud. Thank you, thank you. You guys keep putting the empty buckets right here, and Connor will take them back to Malachi. I'm going to go around the other side. So now those little microbes, because it's going to get cold, they've dug themselves down into the soil to stay warm. They said it would be 37 today, so I was cutting it close. Okay, it's looking good, you guys. We just cover everybody. And we'll cover our beautiful little sorrel plant that's in there. Make sure that she doesn't freeze. Thank you, Connor. Look at that. So what do you guys think of Mr. Fungi Bacteria and Nematode? Do you like them? Yeah. They're our friends, aren't they? Our microbes and life in the soil are our little friends. Hello, Mr. Archer. How are you, cutie pie? He's like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm just enjoying the ride. All right. This is a good job, you guys. We did a good job. Cover all the little beans everywhere. All the little beans, huh, Gigi? And they got their little heads all covered nice under a blanket. Do you? It's fun, huh, sweetie? Yeah. Who is that? Who's on your gloves? Oh, we've got a walnut inside of our straw. It'll grow a walnut tree out here, you guys. And then we can dig it out and put it in a pot. Did you know that? Yeah, you can grow a walnut tree from your walnuts. They'll pop up out of the straw in the summer. Okay, I think we're almost there, Gigi. Okay, I think we got it. Maybe we'll just cover up the other bed a little bit more with all the extra straw. Do you want to take it? Okay, Connor, can you take it back to the other bed? We got more than enough now, okay? So go back to the little bed over there where we looked at the worms. Let's do that. I think we're good, Connor. Yep, take it over there. Let's cover that bed over there. I'm just going to do one more batch here on the last bed. Aren't they beautiful with the white honey locust wood chip pathway? It looks so pretty.
All of these back over there.
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you, Connor. Beautiful, you guys. We did a killer job out here covering up all our little cover crops with straw. They're all done. And now we've got some other hugel beds where they've got beautiful, healthy living microbes and nematodes in their soil. And so we love that. But this one needed a little extra help. And then you can plant your vegetables after you collect your cover crops. Okay, we're going back to the other bed where we were digging the little worms. Let's take them all over there. Thank you. We'll grab all the empty buckets, you guys. Follow Malachi, Gigi. Let's go to the other bed where all the worms are.
You want me to start broadcasting?
No, we're not broadcasting. They've already got what they need. We're just going to cover with straw a little bit more because they have microbes already in there. So we'll take these back to the shed, put them all upside down in case it rains or snows. I think it'll be more like snow. It got a little cold today, didn't it, you guys? It was so warm and sunny the last 2 days. All right, so same thing here, but make sure we don't get it on the wood chip pathway. Remember all those little wormies? Now sprinkle it light. This one we're just going to do a little bit lighter blanket out here, okay? Sprinkle it lightly out here. And then I noticed where the birds eat by our sanctuary we built, you guys. I noticed that there's tons of exposed soil. So if you'll take a bunch of these, Malachi, up under the tree, you'll see on one of the beds it's all exposed soil.
Do you want me to fill up some more there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the deer came and pooped, didn't they?
Can I help?
Yes, sweetheart.
Okay, I'll bring like 2 buckets.
Thank you. Let me show you where it is, okay, Connor? Keep going. Good, Gigi. Good job. Let me show you where it is, Connor. I'll take you guys up there. Yeah, I think either the deer or maybe the birds, because the quail like to scratch like chickens. So I think what they did is they scratched all the straw off of the bed. And I'm always pushing it back up. But I ran out of straw. So I'll take you behind the apricot tree. Isn't our sanctuary beautiful? All the birds know how to fly in from the top and fly out and come and eat inside here in our apricot tree. That's where all our birds love to come. So let me show you where, sweetie.
About over there.
Yeah, do you see all that dirt? That means that all our microbes underneath are going to dry up and die. So bring me a bucket here, Connor. Bring me a bucket over here, sweetie. Thank you. And we're just going to cover all this up really good because we never want our soil exposed.
There's some dirt right
It'll
there.
dry out and then they'll die.
That might have actually been the deer.
Yeah, that was the deer, huh?
I see some exposed soil.
Everywhere you see exposed soil, yes, that's perfect. You cover it with a blanket of straw. Everywhere. I think the birds like it too, though, because what happens is like the robins want to get their worms, and they know I have to move the straw out of the way if I'm going to get to the worms, right? Will you bring me another bucket, sweetie? Thank you, hun. And so the robins like to move the straw out of the way too. Thank you. You're the best helper, Connor. Thank you, bud. As I'm one-fisted holding the phone, filming live, you guys. This is our 7th year this year in the food forest here at Utah Valley Permaculture Classroom Gardens, you guys. Isn't that exciting? And our food forest is growing so beautifully. It's asleep right now. That's why you have deciduous berry bushes of 35 kinds and all the fruit and nut trees. But wait till spring when all the leaves explode. And it's a beautiful forest in here. It's amazing how gorgeous it gets. And we got all this Nanking cherry. We'll have the most beautiful little light pink blossoms. How are you doing, Gigi? Good, sweetheart? You're all done. Okay, you stay over there, sweetheart. All right, thank you, sweetie. Good job. We're just covering the rest of this little bed here that had soil exposed, making sure, and we've got these beautiful sea buckthorn berries we transplanted last year, and they have the most beautiful little orange berries that are so nutritious. All right, I need another bucket. What are we doing here on that side?
Oh, it was just piled down here at the bottom. So
Oh, thank you. So push it back up. Okay, just not too clumpy, okay? Make sure that it's kind of loose, otherwise it will mold. All right, beautiful. Thank you, Malachi. Good job. Remember how it was all bare soil? Yeah. I know. The animals have a heyday out here. Literally, right? That I didn't even mean to make that pun right there. I just did, didn't I? Ha! Heyday. Ha ha. Isn't that funny though? What did? Oh, it's laying down. No, it can't lift up. No, it's just the way it's growing. You'll break it if you try to lift it. It's just the way that current is starting to grow, so I just have to let it go. In nature, just leave it and let it do its thing, you know?
Do you need more hay, or will those be enough?
Let's look on this whole row here and see if we need any more straw, you guys. We might have enough, Malachi. Are we only using just the bags in the shed still? The bags are empty. So did you cut open a straw bale, Malachi?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Keep it in the shed, okay, hon? Is all the straw? No, we don't need to, because that gets it all wet and moldy. So as long as I have room in the shed, they stay in the shed. So keep going around here, all these little plants, Ben. Do me a favor, Malachi, and make sure that all the straw that was under the tarp is out of there so that it doesn't have any straw wasted.
Oh, since I had to cut the bottom,
You took it out of the shed?
yeah, that's what I normally did.
No, that's because we didn't have any room left in the shed. Can you try to put it back?
Yeah, I'll see if it holds together, but before breaking, I'm going to have to break it.
And then you got to cover it up really good because the last batch got all moldy and wet, okay? We never want to take it out if we don't have to. All right, did we get it covered up pretty good? See right here, it could probably use a little bit more. That should be good. All right, now we'll see what the birds and the deer do. Do you want to take these back, Connor?
Sure.
Thank you, hon. We're done out here, and I think they finished the little bed over there. Let's go see if we can get the straw off of the wood chip pathway.
Got a dove caught there, Denise.
What? Oh, no. Oh, no. I wonder if a hawk got to it, hon. Or did it just get caught? Oh, I'm so sorry. He actually tangled himself up. Can you get him out? I'm so sorry.
And then it looks like
See, this is what I was afraid of when you use netting. That's why I never used the bird wire, but I thought this was big enough they would know. But maybe he got scared. Let's bury him.
Where do you want
Oh, let's bury him in the garden. Let's put a nice little burial here. Poor baby. I'm so sorry. No, he'll just decompose, sweetheart. Just dig down into the soil. We'll give him a nice little burial. And he'll decompose just like everything else. There's a cute little worm. Do you see all those beautiful worms? Lots of worms, huh? We have good, healthy, living soil out here.
Ooh, that's cold.
It is cold. I know we need gloves, don't we? We forgot to grab our gloves. All right, go ahead and stick those in there. I mean, him in there. Sorry, buddy. And then let's cover him up with all the wet. There. I'm so sorry, honey.
Can I go in your house and wash my hands?
Yes, if you go in the laundry room,
Okay.
only in there, we can wash.
Where's the laundry room?
That's all the way through the kitchen and the dining room. So thanks for joining us today, everybody. We had a fun day learning how to grow healthy soil and feed them with carbohydrate and nitrogen. And it was wonderful. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be doing more workshops. We have 2 nights, Tuesday and Thursday nights, that we do live streaming, 6-month design course. So you learn how to survey your property, how to find the water, passively design a system to flow it through your property on contour. Let's take that back too. Thank you. Can we put some all through here? Let's see if there's any exposed soil over here. Be wonderful. And so they're designing everything, and then they learn how to plant native plants like black currants right here, and the fruit trees and everything else in the forest. And then we do a permablitz. We always pick one family that we take their design. Everybody gets together, former students, current students from both nights, and we go put a garden in a day. It's our garden barn raising. And always make sure you stay off the bed and you don't break any of the plants like that, okay? So just sprinkle it, throw it out. There you go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start a whole new class on Thursday night, because we have 2 more months in our Thursday night class, and then they're all finished and they graduate and get their permaculture design certificate. And so then we're going to start a whole new class in May for a new set of students that want to design their properties. We have a family that just came that are up in Heber, and they're going to want to design their food forest. And then we had somebody contact us from Cedar City. They just bought land down there, and they'd like to design theirs. So Malachi, let me see how it looks. And Connor, after we get all the buckets over here, but don't make them so tall because they get stuck inside each other. After we get all the buckets over there, turn them upside down so they don't fill with water and get moldy and stinky. And then will you go all through here where we've got straw all over our wood chip path? But don't take the wood chip, sweetheart, because then we won't have a wood chip pathway left. So lightly, either with your hands, put all the straw back onto the bed, so we keep it nice and neat, okay, Connor?
All right.
Thank you, hon. We did really good, you guys, considering it got a little chilly. We did really, really good. Now, what we didn't do, Malachi, I'll just let you finish after, is getting the, has anybody got a bucket of straw left? There's some exposed right here.
Okay.
I could use some straw. If you'll go get some from Malachi, okay, hon? We'll just cover the last bit of the exposed soil on this little bed, because we want to make sure that everything is covered nice and neat, so that no cover crops and no microbes. And always make sure if you get a little clump of straw like this, spread it out. So it's telemarketing anyway. They're always bothering us every day, but we're busy. Don't call our phone. Okay, so see right under here, under the peach tree. Now when you do need to get in a little closer like this, just lean in on your knee, but never step with your foot onto the microbes, okay? So see all under here, Ben? Yep, all under around this tree. Let's cover him up good. Okay, how's it look over here?
There's straw on the tarp.
You know what we forgot, Malachi?
Just on.
Yeah, gather it all together.
Okay, so you want me to pull it out?
Yes, and you were
Okay.
able to put this back in here?
Yeah, I was able. So that's
Okay.
the big one. That's the loose
All right,
stuff.
let's lock this up.
Okay.
Put this
Do
back
you want
over
me
the
to try
top.
and get any of that into there, or should I just make
No,
it?
we're just going to cover it.
Okay.
Will you put that back up with that?
You did really good.
You did really good, sweetie, but you know what we forgot, Malachi? Remember when I said we needed to bring one of the bags of the chicken manure? We were supposed to put the chicken manure
I
down.
don't remember that now.
Well, when we stacked it right here, I said we're going to bring some bags of those out.
Okay.
So we totally forgot. We got in a
Yeah.
hurry because everyone was cold. I know. We'll have to do that another day to feed them some good. It's half wood and half chicken manure, and they create a compost.
The knife's in there too. It's in this bale that's here.
What is it?
The knife's in this bale. in
Oh,
there.
okay. All right. Always leave it in one of the bales
Yeah.
for the next time we need to cut open a bale.
So it's where you get locked up.
Yes, that's perfect. And then we'll close up. So what I got, Ben, is they had this amazing, and it wasn't very expensive at all. It's 50-50, okay, with existing soil, but it's 50% Douglas fir and ponderosa fir bark, and the rest is chicken manure. And so you've got this amazing blend of a compost that's really rich. So if you want lots of worms quickly, you want to do that, because that's what we do in our hugel beds, is we'll put pure manure on the logs to
So
decompose.
you dig the hole, put the logs in, and then cover it with manure?
Well, I'll teach you how. You got to watch out. You're doing it with a machine. It's not that simple. But I'll teach you how to do a hugel bed. But right now on your soil, you could go get some of this, sprinkle it out there, okay? And that'll help speed up turning the sand into some living soil.
Cool.
That's what the manure does. It's really good. Just like your living compost over there. So if you guys want to come over here, I got something fun. We have 1976 canned peaches. They're way too old. I know. My mother canned the most beautiful peaches that we grew in our garden in California. Just watch that you don't put any soil into that little pipe, and never step on that little pipe right there. That's our water system that pipes up 500 feet uphill to the highest point of the garden. So what we're going to do is we're going to open these up, and we're going to pour them into here, and we save these for the next time we got a can. But this is our compost pile, and what we're doing is we're doing layers, okay? So we did a lot of leaves and shredded branches. We do always our food scraps, like the eggshells right there and stuff, in a biodegradable bag. So we'll open those, because what happens is...
Make a divot so that they don't just flap everywhere?
Nope.
Okay.
You don't want to put your hands in there. So in there are worms and microbes and everything else growing, because we use our chicken, duck, and rabbit manure, okay? So you can see the rabbit manure right there. And so what we're doing is we're doing all these layers, and then you get it wet, so it's nice and wet right now. Then you cover it with a tarp so it won't get cold. But that becomes really hot because of all the manure. So we'll get that open, and then your dad will open them up, sweetie, and then you can pour them. So let me show you where to pour them, okay? So these poor little peaches, we didn't get to eat. They're too old. But the microbes in here are going to be so happy. So just put them right in the top, and then they'll flow down. And then if you'll close them back up for me, please.
For some reason, that grosses me out so much.
It's just peach. Do you know it's peach sugar syrup? That's all it is. It's sweet syrup. So we're going to feed our microbes that syrup. You see? Yeah, that's not icky. That's fun. Because those little microbes, they love sugar. The fungi especially, you guys. Our fungi in our tummy, don't feed them too much sugar, okay? They go crazy over sugar. And then they take over your tummy. And then you don't have digestion. You have problems. So you never want to eat a lot of sugar, you guys. Did your mother ever tell you that? Don't eat a lot of sugar. But eat your veggies, right?
Yep.
Always eat your veggies, everybody. Okay, knock it. Knock that little peach in there. There you go. Good job. So what did you guys think of the workshop today?
It was fun.
You know how to grow healthy soil now, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Now, in the fall, we do another workshop. We add a few more things. We'll actually, besides compost, we'll add azomite mineral powder. We'll do the cover crops. We'll do the straw. But we'll add some azomite. Because azomite is really good minerals. And all winter, the microbes in the soil will take that azomite minerals, and they'll digest it. And then they'll fertilize the plants that are growing, that pop back up in the spring. And so that's another thing that's really good to add to your soil as well. Yes. You never thought you'd be feeding a compost pile, huh?
Nope.
It's fun, isn't it? How are you doing, Malachi?
He just went the other way.
He just went the other way.
Here, why don't you stand over here and I'll hand it to you the other way.
Okay.
All right, there we go. And see all those eggshells and everything, and that's a biodegradable bag. They take a little while, but they do decompose. So does the newspaper as well. That comes with the chicken manure and stuff. So I just do one layer of manure, one layer of leaves and other naturals. So some are green and some are dry. And then you always have your food scraps that you throw into that. And that's what's feeding all the microbes that are growing in there. And what they're doing is they're creating living soil, right?
Did you just make a big pile of peaches?
Well, all the way across, okay, Connor?
Okay.
But what they're doing is they're creating healthy soil too. This is faster than what we did out there. That's a little slower out there. But now we're going to add some compost to all these beds out there. We're going to feed.
So much wood.
That's from our, remember when your dad pruned all the fruit trees? That's from the fruit trees. Oh, that's right. You were at Grandma's. The other grandma. I'm just your pretend grandma.
Yep.
Thank you, Malachi. That's wonderful. or we did the kitchen garden, which is 3 beds, and we did this little baby bed that's only, you guys, it's going to be 3 years old this year. That is our 3-year-old. And the scout troop dug 3 feet down, buried those logs down there. Then you cover it with the manure, like you were saying. Then you add tons of water, and those logs are like sponges. They drink up all that water, and they'll start to decompose. And from the bottom up, they're growing those living microorganisms, right?
Wet and
Yeah, it becomes like a sponge, and the mushrooms start growing. He decided to get some juice. Yeah, that's what they do, you guys. That's what they do. And then from the top down, we're feeding and growing healthy humus, living soil from the top down. And eventually you hope that your entire forest bed is just like when you go in the mountains and you dig down into that fresh smelling good humus under all the trees. That's what we're doing here. We're growing healthy humus. Isn't that exciting? In the
get
forest.
Used to it. You have like 4 more boxes.
Get used to it.
5 there, buddy. Take you back to school.
See, you don't waste anything, okay? We couldn't eat this because it's way too old. We might get botulism, you know?
You would definitely.
Yeah. But my mom was so proud. She wrote this in front. Pêche au sirop. You see? That's what my mother made. And then she even did in 1982, she did some cherries. And then she did what's called Compost de pomme, which is applesauce. My mother loved growing fruit and food, and she loved canning.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Do you know how to can?
I do.
You
I
need
do
to teach
lots
your
of it.
mom. She would like those.
Okay. I bet your mom already knows, though. You think? A little bit, yeah. I did a bunch of apricot jam and plum jam, and we did all the berry syrups, all those different things you can to keep them for long, but not this long.
Yes.
See, this was what year?
77.
77, you guys. That's when my mother canned all this stuff. I know. How are we doing, Malachi?
So I have some rotted straw here that was on the bottom of those tarps.
Is it kind of rotting?
Yeah.
Just go ahead and just spread it. Like, I want to get all the straw off the pathway.
Yeah.
See all that straw on the pathway? Let's save the wood chips and let's push all the straw over there. But like I said, I was going to say goodbye, and everybody's still listening. So thanks for watching today, you guys. Have a wonderful day, and come visit the forest soon. We give tours all the time, 2-hour educational tours of what this is. What is an edible, self-sustainable food forest that will live on forever beyond me. And look at our permaculturedesignschool.org. That's permaculturedesignschool.org. And there's Connor. And you can see when our courses are, and you can see updates on there. So have a wonderful day, everybody.